UFOs coming down.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Jeffrey's getting on the lamp.
He's waiting for like a drum roll / grand entrance song.
Jeffrey's going to do like a cartwheel in.
And everyone, the moment you've been waiting for.
Like a back handspring at cartwheel triple sour cow.
He's 30. He's flirty. It's Jeffrey.
He's beauty. He's grace.
Well, I'm 31, but close.
Oh my God,
He's Miss
close.
United States. What are you, 31?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, you're the same age as my kids. No wonder you drive me out of my mind. Jeffrey,
Wow.
Here's what I have determined. I think you and Barb are like Sam and I.
Okay.
Oh,
Where
I'm Sam, obviously.
okay.
I'm the wild card. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And then there's you and Barb, Sam and Barb, where they're like, oh my God. It's a gamble every week, isn't it, Barb? Don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not that bad. I'm really good with her.
Jeffrey. How are you two? Who do we
Pretty
have?
good.
Yeah. How's the weather there?
Cold. And a little snowy it was yesterday.
Oh, I lost your sound.
Oh, great.
Did you?
Poor
Hello?
Barb. So because if she talks, it's because she's like, Jeffrey's mic is a weird way or something.
Uh-huh.
So if she talks, then it doesn't pick her up.
Is that the microphone?
I don't know. What is it?
No,
this-
you're fine. You guys are.
Oh.
We can hear you. It's just if Barb is like not here.
Right.
That-
Get there.
Barb, you're gonna
Do
have to
like
be right
this?
there. Talk like this.
Do
Like this.
Project your voice. Just
Hey,
Hey.
Barb, have you gotten your thing from Susan yet?
Yes. Yeah, I posted a picture on my Instagram. I love it.
Did you wonder, oh, look, Susan got me a soccer ball.
No, I knew that she got it. I was still on there on the sale.
I asked Sam, I'm like, oh my God, I hope Barb knows.
Yeah, I was
unfix
like,
that
Susan.
damn thing.
Susan, no, I couldn't believe she did that, but I was so thankful. I love it.
Yeah, that was very nice of her. Very
Yes.
kind of her. And it was a pain in the ass to wrap, just so you know.
It was really funny to watch, though. It was great.
I was cracking up when I opened it because, yeah, I would have thought it was like a soccer ball.
Here you go,
I
kids.
know.
Here's a ball for you.
I know. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope she was at that sale because she's going to think, oh no, look at that. Susan sent me like a foam core soccer ball. God bless her heart. Oh.
Mm.
All right, let's get to it. Oh, damn it. Well, now we're back to normal.
how many
There's a
people
lot
are
going
here? I
Let it
can't
go.
see that.
Let it go. No, let it go.
on. Okay.
And then we'll see if we can't get it to
Turn
like
her down.
be. Okay, how about that? Nobody breathe.
Okay. It's not our usual light that we use, like the surface of the sunlight. It's our old one, and it's got a temperamental cord on it. So if we kind of go, if we go dark, you'll know why. Also, I didn't put my hair back, so if I look like Rosanna Dana, you know why.
Okay. Well, everyone is saying, oh my God. Well, we can't watch because Sarah's hair just looks ridiculous.
Did I see Helen Booty in here? Helen, I just got your friend mail. Thank you so much. I'll post some pictures. All right, you two, let's get at it.
So for those of you who don't know what's going on here, sometimes we will get questions about how do I be a reseller in this way? And to be quite honest, we
We
haven't
don't know.
done it that long. So
Damn it.
we're just going to be without the light.
We got to be without the light.
Anyway.
I think it's
so-
good. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. So, we thought we would reach out to some pals, some pros, and
Some rock stars.
see what they think about these questions.
Mm-hmm. Frankly, we're not qualified to answer.
No.
We don't know. We don't know. I mean, I've only resold since, I guess it was like a year in October,
Mhm.
since I've sold stuff on eBay. And we've done this since, what?
February.
It'll be a year.
Yeah.
In February. So, we don't know anything. We don't any more than you guys. You know, you people in the chat, we know nothing.
We're faking it till we make it, baby.
We know nothing.
So we thought that we would reach out to some pals who know. Jeffrey and Barb know things.
Jeffrey and Barb are in the know.
So
They're in the know. Jeffrey, how long have you resold?
Actually, I don't know. Only a few years, really. What do you know exactly when? Was it mid 2016 I started?
So.
Oh,
Yeah.
not very long.
Mm-mm. I didn't know this was even a career that people did. I had no clue.
I didn't either.
and remind me, what did you do before you did this?
I did graphic design since I was out of college. I mean, I went to school for graphic design. So I had basically two main places that I worked at, and I worked there for a few years each.
So hence the merchandise. That explains it. I didn't realize you had a career in graphics.
We like
Yeah.
That explains the merchandise.
I think it stems a little bit like earlier with like a creative spark. That's the whole reason I got into graphic design. It's not like, well, I know how to do this, I might as well make some money. No, I like making things. So
Me too.
I do it for the fun of it. And some things I don't make any money on, and it's because they don't do well, but I do it because it's a fun experience. So
Yeah.
Right.
What did you do, Barb?
What do you do, Barb? You've got like 15 kids like I do, don't you?
Yeah, just basically the kids, that's it. So this is just something extra, you know, just for fun. But I mean, eventually when they're all, you know, in school, I could say that I might start getting a little bit more serious with it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
How old are the kids?
13, 10, 7, and the little guy is 6 tomorrow.
Oh.
And what?
Did you say 6 months or 6.5?
6 tomorrow.
6
6
months.
tomorrow.
I should be hiding something big if that was the case.
I was gonna say, well, I didn't notice that Barb had been pregnant.
She's killing it.
Wow, Barb, you're great.
No.
How are you so awake?
Jeffrey, how long have you been on YouTube?
I don't know.
Good answer.
You know, 27. I think somewhere in 2017, maybe late 2017. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What possessed you to get a YouTube channel? Out of curiosity.
I don't know. So I watched a lot of YouTube channels. I watched Vintage Vinny early on. I watched the Pudgy Picker, which we don't have a lot in common, but we follow people for their personalities. So
Yeah.
I was watching, her and this guy from the Brass Armadillo, Gary Stover, which is like nobody knows. I don't think even cares or knows that guy. But he's like in his 80s, and he was like, and he had all this intelligence about old stuff, and he had the booth in Colorado. Is it Colorado?
Mm.
Sure. And so I was watching that, and I'm like, there's nobody that's kind of like me. So I wanted to try it, and it was a rocky start, but because I used the camera, my first haul video is crap. It's absolute crap.
Well, everybody's is.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, we are just now getting to the point where we have and I mean very semi-professional stuff.
Like if there was like a starter kit that was like, okay, you want to start your YouTube channel, so here's like the intro, the 101 lights.
Yeah,
the
basic set.
Yeah.
We're still kind of
the one that you could get at Walmart when really you should be shopping at like Sephora,
Right. Well, in fairness, we started with like less than the basic set. Now we have like the basic starter set.
Which is really just par for the course. We just make it happen.
My God, talk about flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Well, that's life. You have to be like that because you're not going to come up with every answer at the beginning. And it wouldn't be any fun if you did, because why try?
And there's no way to tell people. Do you agree with this? There's absolutely no way to tell people one set way to do things. I mean, you just kind of do whatever works for you. There's no one schedule that you can follow. There's no one way to do haul video. I hate shop along videos. I detest them. That's why Sam does them. just everybody does it different. And somehow it either works or it doesn't. I think it more has to do with personality, don't you?
Oh, well, I think it all has to stem from personality. Otherwise, you're not going to have very many people want to watch you.
What is the thing
So,
you hate the most about doing this?
Well, in a way, it's kind of like you're leading a really public life, and
Mhm.
more so a public business, that you feel kind of guilty if you want to, a mixture of guilty and like, oh no, I can't step back because then people will forget that I'm here.
Right.
And so it's like that. And that's mostly a YouTube problem, not a reselling problem, because
Right.
before reselling, you just are, maybe before YouTube, I had, my Etsy store, of course. And if you want to go on vacation, they have a button for that and you go on vacation.
Mhm. Mhm.
So there's a little bit of that. So sometimes I might feel like a little bit like, oh, I need to take a break, but I find ways to navigate around it, and then I get back rejuvenated in a way where I'm good to go.
Mhm.
Um,
When
what
did
was your
you
question? Oh, I guess
when did
I
you
got
what you hate the most about this? It's just constant, I think is what you're saying. It's nonstop. It's constant. You always got to be doing something.
But I don't know if I would have it any other way, because I like the push that it gives me.
Me too.
I don't want to be on the couch. So it's almost like, but at the same time, I don't know. We go into this business to work for ourselves, and after a certain point, you put yourself in a position where you almost don't have that freedom anymore. So
Mhm.
it's like you're riding this line of,
Yes.
you feel like almost you have a boss again, and it's kind of a mixture of you and everybody else that
Yep.
watches.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my question is, because I saw this in the comments and it's very applicable for Barb. Barb, I would urge you to come close to the microphone because everyone is yelling at me that they can't hear you.
I think it's that.
You think
Now,
it's
my
this?
question is, somebody said, how do you get over being camera shy? And I don't know if you are shy, Barb, but I get the vibe that you are.
Yeah.
Were you
Can
shy
you?
when you started?
Hopefully they can hear me now.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, I am shy. Like when I was younger, I quit certain things just because like I didn't want to be in front of people or that kind of stuff. But I guess it was just gradual because at first we would, record like, at an auction, he was recording and then he'd get me in it a little bit, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was just gradual and I still don't like it.
Really?
Yeah,
You do
think you're
great.
great.
thanks.
I think you're wonderful. How long have you two known each other?
Well, I mean, I've been dating Aaron for over 8 years, so
Oh,
about
so
since
long
then.
time.
But we really didn't do anything on a regular basis, her and I, until the auctions and the reselling kind of thing started, because there wasn't like, I don't know, a commonality. Like you were mostly doing, the kids things and stuff, and
Yeah, and they were young then, so I wasn't able to do as much. So
Right. Barb, have you? Okay, hold on. 2 questions. Barb, have you always do you resell? I mean, other
Yes.
than on Jeffrey's channel,
Oh.
do you have like an Etsy store or anything?
Yes, but I've had my Etsy store closed because I don't like doing listings. And at this point, it's kind of like, why would I?
Uh-huh.
Things just move so slow, and
I agree.
so
And then
it's
why
just
pay
not.
the fees?
And what?
And why pay
Oh,
the
yeah, the
fees? You know?
Right. So yeah, right now just the live sales, but I mean, I might try selling a few things on Instagram. I have once in a while, so we'll see.
Right. And Jeffrey, when did you don't still do graphic design, correct? Like you don't
Other
go
than
to
for
it.
yourself.
no.
You just do
I
this.
mean, I did for a while, like probably not even. I would have this guy, this old contact of mine who did a print place, and he would just send me the occasional job and be like, and I'm like, I can't turn down $20. Like, I'll spend 30 minutes to do this real quick.
Right.
So I did like contract jobs for this one guy, and then he eventually fell off, which is fine because I'm off doing other things now. But I didn't get a whole lot of enjoyment with graphic design towards the end because I was doing it for other people, and I honestly was just over it. I was in a position all day for 8 hours a day on a computer designing stuff, and I kind of just grew out of it, I think. It was too mindless. It was kind of one-dimensional. I was bored. And I was coasting through for a few years at my other job, the one before the most recent one that I ended up quitting.
Mm-hmm.
And the job that I had before that, I had lots of roles. I was essentially running the place. I was taking phone calls. I was ordering inventory, t-shirts. I was doing the designing. Did I say invoicing? I was invoicing. I was writing the job schedule for the screen printers in the back. So I had a lot of things going on. And after doing that for so long, I said, oh, maybe I want to get back to what I went to college for. Like, I finally feel like I've done the graphic design stuff enough that I can just do designing and sit at a desk and get paid like the big bucks, you know?
Right.
And I thought that's what I
Instead of
wanted.
making the coffee.
Well, I was doing a lot of things, but so I went there. I had this job for probably a year and a half. I hated it. I really did not like it. It was making me very, very sad, actually. And I decided that it was enough. And I made a couple mistakes there, like hundreds of dollars worth, you know, because
Oh, sure.
if you do a design wrong and they print it on 500 t-shirts,
Oops.
you've got 500 t-shirts that are wrong. So that happened a few times, and somebody said, you know, like, what's going on? Like, are you like, why are you doing this? Because they're not happy. And
Right.
after a while, I came to the realization that I don't know if I'm self-sabotaging, I'm just, my head's not in it. But I went up to the guy, I'm like, yeah, I need to quit. This is not working. And I was like, I can give you my 2 weeks now. And it actually turned out that it was in a time of year where they essentially just was like, well, you know, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to come back tomorrow if you don't want. And I'm like,
Right.
great, I'm done.
Good. Bye.
Yeah. But
So,
by then I was reselling part-time.
so you were comfortable enough, because this is, I think a lot of people ask this. You were comfortable enough quitting your job to do this full time. You were confident you could make enough money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I sold a few things, not on any grand scale like I do now, of course.
Uh-huh.
But I saw, okay, I'm listing these things and I'm selling this percentage of them, like item count wise. And I know that things I'm buying. I believed in them. I'm like, I know who's going to buy this. I know why they're going to buy it. And I know that there's value in this. I believe those things.
Mhm.
So I just said to myself, can I scale this up? What if I do X amount? Then I'll make X amount of dollars.
Mhm.
And I justified that. I also gave myself like 3 months at the beginning of this to kind of get my feet on, you know. By the time I quit the graphic design thing, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'll find something. I'll go work at a gas station if I have to.
Right.
Because I worked at a gas station out of college, and I did that for, I think, 2 years, and it was fine. But I was like, I'm not doing graphic design more. I can't. It's put me in such a bad place that I had to change completely. And
I agree 1,000%. I would
Yeah.
not go if something happened and, you know, like the internet quit working. I would not go back to my old job. I would do something completely different
Yeah.
altogether. But were you doing your live sales on YouTube yet when you quit, or were you
Oh,
just selling
no.
on Etsy?
I was selling on Etsy, and I think I had about 200 or 300 listings at any given time at that point. And then I think my second year, whenever I started doing YouTube even more, then it started creeping up. I think the most I've ever had listed at one time was about 900 listings.
Wow,
And
no kidding.
yeah,
Well,
but
you
I
have
was,
to. If you want to make a living doing it, you have to.
yeah, but I was selling about seven items a day.
That's awesome.
Six,
Wow,
7 days a week. Yeah,
not
was pretty good.
bad. What? Okay, now it's just you and Barb, right? You don't have anybody who works for you.
No, I tried with Aaron because he's always been sort of wishy-washy about, I think, what he wants to do. And I don't really feel comfortable talking about him in that way, but he would be okay with me saying that he doesn't really have it like he doesn't have a career path in mind.
Yeah.
He likes his lawn care stuff, and he wants to go
You
down
make
that
a lot of
road.
money doing that.
You can't. My parents do. That's what they do full time.
Yeah.
And they mow 80 yards a week, but between the two of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So he kind of watches them, and he wheels turn a little bit, but he's not as go get 'em about it either.
Right.
So he's not as yeah, gung-ho about working, I guess.
He just hasn't found his passion yet. He will.
But he brings,
will.
but it's not a point of contention between us. He brings the money that he needs to for it to work and all of this, so that there's not like an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I totally get it.
Yeah, and I'm
I
like,
just
you know
didn't know
what?
if you
As
had
long
anybody
as
that-
I'm like, as long as you're kind of pulling your weight to some degree, you figure yourself out, do your own thing, and
Mhm.
I let him go with it.
Well,
But I did
and,
try.
I mean, honestly, who cares? I mean, I've always been that way too. Who cares who's making the money? I mean, as long as you're not laying around on the couch, watching The Price is Right while I'm busting my ass, then okay, we're all right. I don't care.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
and I tried to hire him, but he didn't like it. So, well, I tried, but
Let me tell you a little something. So when I first started reselling, Bruce, my husband, is meticulous. He's a former Marine, and he also worked for the post office for a really long time. So I knew he knew how things should be packaged. And I mean, he's so anal. And so I sold my first thing on eBay, and I mean, it was a great sale. And it was something though that needed to be packaged. I mean, oh God, how that thing didn't break is beyond me. It was like this cake plate, this Department
spider
56. Yeah. And he quit as the shipping guy after about 10 minutes.
oh
Ish.
no.
Yeah.
That was
That's
your first
how fun
sale
it is
though?
to work with me.
Oh. Did you say that was your first thing that you sold?
Uh-huh.
Oh. So then then it was all your job all at once.
Yes. Now I am equally as psychotic about shipping, so it all works out. But
She's so psychotic that when we started, I didn't sell at first. She did. And I was like, yeah, we'll see. Because I'm just a kind of kindergarten baby to all this. And after a couple sales, I started. And she wouldn't let me ship my own stuff. She wouldn't let me
for a
pack
long
it
time.
for like months.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, we're going to have to stop doing that. We're going to have to let me do something.
I don't like to give that kind of control over to anybody. I would rather it be my fault if something happens than somebody else have to take responsibility. I would just rather it be my fault. So
that is the pickle to hiring someone, I think.
Mhm.
It's like that trust that, like, especially because stuff like this, you can't get it back. You can't get another one usually. So
yeah, you got to be pretty psycho about
There's a
shipping.
lot of nuance. There's a lot of nuance in shipping. I thought, oh, there's these, certain trick. You just tell them these things and then you'll know. But there's a lot of like, you
There's
kind
an
of have
art
to have an artistic mind. You almost have to see like the final result before you start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
You have to see all the negative space. You have to. There's an art to it. There really is. It's true. Have you
Comical when it doesn't work.
say
Oh,
it again, Barb.
It can be really comical when his vision does not work also.
I also find that comical, Barb. I also find that comical.
you have a specific time, like a Frankenstein box?
No,
Oh my God.
just, I'll be like, oh, that's not going to fit. And he'll be like, yes, it is. And like,
Oh
Fit
my
in this
God.
padded poly mailer. I'm only
Yeah,
spending
I will
$7.80.
get it in this poly mailer come hell or high water. Oh, I know. No, I'm curious, Jeffrey. What have you always been like a collector? I mean, what got you into this?
So we just talked about this the other day, and it's something I knew, but I just got reminded of it again. I was just saying, Barb, this really all started because your grandma died.
yeah.
So yeah, and her dad wanted me to help at the auction, and I never been to an auction.
Uh-huh.
And I will add to this and go back a little bit further with where I started, like the old stuff. But so my job at the auction, which I since learned was not like legal really. I had a paper and certain items that if they didn't go for that, we're supposed to get them back. We're supposed to bid them up to get them either to sell for a certain price or get them back. Because he was okay. Like your dad, either way.
Is your dad an auctioneer, Barb?
No, he's not an auctioneer.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
mean? It was the estate and they needed to sell the stuff. They needed to get rid of the stuff.
Got
But
it.
there were
Just
certain
for the
things
estate.
that they were like, well, no, if this doesn't sell for at least this much, we don't want to sell it. And
Okay,
so
okay.
Yeah, we have the Victrola that we bought back, and I'm glad because it's a really nice Victrola from 1912, and we have all the records with it. It's really cool.
Oh,
Wow.
So whenever I was there, my job, I had certain things, but yet I was seeing other things that were selling for $2, and they weren't on the list, but they were things that I thought were cool. Then I'm like, why are people bidding these up more? You could sell that for $15 or $20. And I found myself buying a couple lots that were $1 or $2 because I'm like, I can't see them. Like, I don't want them to go that cheap. I'll sell them. They sat in my basement for a while until at some point I decided I was going to go ahead and try Etsy because I liked it as a buyer. And I bought a carnival glass bowl. My first piece of carnival glass, my first real big purchase. And I bought that, and it was, I think, a little over $100. Came from Hawaii, but it's a really nice carnival glass bowl. And where was I going with that? I don't know. But so I knew Etsy. I knew the groundwork of it. I as a buyer, I knew what I wanted to look for, and I saw all the value that it had. And basically, I had a few things listed. I had a few things around the house that I wanted to sell, and I listed them. And within a few days, a couple things sold. But
and then
before
you're hooked.
What?
And then you're hooked.
Yes, but before the auction, in high school, I used to go to flea markets a lot, and I would get like old things, like old rotary phones and old.
Oh, you would?
Yes, and whenever I was younger, like 8 or 9, I would go to a lot of yard sales and get figurines, which is now one of like my ceramic things is kind of like where I'm drawn to a lot. So I probably could send back all as far as then with that, but.
So clear back. How about you, Barb? Have you always collected stuff? I mean, have you always like vintage stuff?
Kind of probably since college, I was a little bit into it, and I worked at an antique mall for a short time. So that's kind of when I got into it. Yeah. And I didn't collect a lot at first. It wasn't until we started going to auctions that's when I started getting more.
Do you guys do online auctions?
We buy from them?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, when we can. The $500 Murano that I bought, that was all an online auction, and I didn't know what I was truly buying. Like the condition, really. I was just.
That's so scary, isn't it? And you're
it was exciting at the same time.
You didn't pay $500.
Yeah.
That's what it's worth?
No, it's worth about $2,000 whenever you look at all of it together, over $2,000. But I paid $500.
Nice. For you personally.
What?
For you personally, you're not going to sell it?
Do you watch my channel?
Jeffrey, I'm a lot like you.
She doesn't even watch the videos I put out, Jeffrey.
No, they're to sell. I looked at every piece, and I was cost averaging that I would spend $10 to $15 in each bowl. Most of them are Murano art glass bowls, Czechoslovakia, Polish, all the things. Okay, art glass, nice. And I was going to pay X amount of dollars into the bowl, and I figured I would. So I'm basically assuming I'm going to sell them for between $50 and $65. Those bowls. Nice. And then I just said, well, I want some better quality stuff. I'm willing to pay this amount for them, and I just did it. So. Yeah.
Well, like I always tell Sam, you got to spend money to make money.
I'm so cheap. I'm the cheapest.
Jocelyn just did it. Yeah. You see that with all the jewelry?
Oh, yeah. I saw her Instagram post on it.
Was it $3,000 worth? Yeah.
It was a lot. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
What'd she buy?
I can't remember, but I was
jewelry.
I saw her. Yeah.
Jewelry?
Yes. And it was like in those glass, and I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I think it's not really costume. I think it's better than costume jewelry. That's why she paid so much. But
yeah. I mean, if you know if you know it's gonna be good, you got to do it. But it kills me.
You got to get over that though. I mean, you got.
I know it's my biggest holdback.
I mean, and if you don't,
that's kind of yours too.
Well, it was, yeah. And it was a big evolution, I think, of, when we started going to auctions, like all you bid on was like $1 and $2 lots, that was it. And then you had, a lot of that you had to put in the booth or just redonate. But at the time, it just seemed crazy to pay those prices. But
it's really true. Like, so when you're starting, And I think a lot of this has its ghosting effect on me whenever people are like, why are you so cheap? And, in my videos sometimes. And it's because, well, whenever I started, I was trying to pay only $1 or $2 because I didn't know what it was going to actually sell for and when it was going to sell and how long.
Indeed.
So I was keeping those margins down so low, or what I paid. So that's kind of in me, but I'm getting it out because I know my turnaround on things is a lot faster now. So I'm willing to pay up more for things and get better quality things. But
Yeah.
for me, going to an auction, I'm like we would be the only younger people there, and younger meaning like people not in their 60s or 50s and 60s. So basically what you had is people that really knew what they were doing, and then us. And
Yeah.
so what can you buy? Well, you can buy the things that they don't care about. You can buy the mid-century metal trash can because
And
they don't
there's
want that.
a lot of stuff they don't care about.
But I knew that, I'd sell that for $30 or $40.
Absolutely.
And I would buy it for $1 or $2. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of examples like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. That's the trick of going to an auction, a live auction, is that you got to know who the
You read
buyers
the
are
room.
that are there and what they're after. And then, because there's always something else of value there, always. You just have to look. You just got to see who's bidding on what. And you're like, oh, okay, well, they don't care about any of that, boho stuff. So I'm going to bid on all of that and get it for $1 or $2.
Yeah.
That's the trick of live auctions. Yeah.
And it helps. And that's when it helps to have a great wide variety in things that you appreciate and will buy. Because for me, I actually have to like the things that I'm buying. And I know there's categories out there that make good money. Books. There's a book guy down the street and he sells books and he does really well on them. But I don't get excited. I mean, unless it's a cool picture or something. But for the sake of it being a book that somebody's like, oh, that's from 1897 and was written by this guy. I don't care. But I'm really visual about things. I want the aesthetics to be there for me. So that's
I
kind
think
of
so too. I can't buy something just because I know it's going to bring, like say for instance, I don't know, like let's say baseball cards or is something like that. Like you're looking at a lot of things and you're like, oh well, I'm sure there's probably some money there. I couldn't care less.
And I say, you know what? I'll leave that for the person that really likes it. Because I mean, I'm not gonna enjoy listing it. I'm not even gonna hardly enjoy buying it. So why would I want to buy? So
I think people are really transparent when, at least I am, when I don't like what I'm selling.
Yeah, you'll straight up say,
I'm
buy
like,
this stupid thing.
All right, here, I hate this, buy it. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't, I have to like what I'm buying or what I'm selling. So see, now that is tricky though about the spending up for things, because like with us, I don't even know how many subscribers do you have? A lot,
like 27K, right?
No, 25,000.
No.
And we just trickled up to that number. So that's
nice.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's great. So 25,000 as opposed to
2,000.
2,000. You've got a lot more people at your sales. So when we say, you got to spend money to make money, but you also have to have people at your sales.
We have like a tier that we haven't been able to get to just yet, unless we know for sure that like, okay, this Sue likes to buy this and she is okay with spending $80 on it, or whatever.
But I think the problem is, and this is very specific to the people watching, that when you have so few buyers, you have a lot of buyers.
Yeah.
And so
you have to know your market.
You have to know your market, number one.
Oh, Junk to be loved. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was kind.
That was really nice.
Number two, you have to know, you have to get to a point where you have a variety of buyers at your lives, so that not the same people every week are, because those people are not always going to pay a couple $100 every week for stuff. They're gonna get what they want and they're gonna wait a while. So you have to have, I think people get frustrated because they don't have a lot of people at their lives. Well, then don't pay up for stuff yet. You know, you got to know who
Start-
you're selling.
Right. Okay. So I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't look. I just now started doing live sales. I think it was
May or so, April.
of
Yeah.
last year, and I had at however many subscribers, but I didn't start reselling for just doing live sales. So I had
Right.
already built that I had made videos for however long. I put a lot of I don't know work into it.
It is
I
work.
cultivated what I have,
Yeah.
whatever I
Yes.
have. So
It's a lot of work.
so I don't think it's the right attitude necessarily to go into just make a YouTube channel with nobody that really knows you and then
Right.
assume that, oh, well, I saw so and so sell it, so therefore I will sell it for that. Because
Right.
it's not the same. It's not the same. Because
No.
even
It's
even
not.
even Etsy versus Etsy versus face
eBay?
eBay.
Mhm.
Etsy versus
You're doing great. You're doing
I
great.
have a migraine. I have a migraine right here. Etsy
Oh.
versus you just said
eBay.
eBay. The price points are entirely different. You can
Yes.
sell
Oh,
something for
totally.
yeah. So it's gonna it's just the whole know your market thing. There is no there's a general price that it's going to sell between, but it's going to depend on the venue and the circumstance and all of it.
Mm-hmm. eBay and Etsy, completely different buyers. I mean, there's some crossover, but I mean, I buy different things on eBay than I would ever buy on Etsy, and also sell different things on eBay that I would never list an assemblage on eBay. Etsy every day of the week.
Oh
Not
yeah,
eBay.
there's entire Etsy stores that do that, and they're priced up there. They do well with them.
Oh, they make a lot of money. If I were smart, I'd do that. But of course, I'm
No, you
not.
don't need to. You have your own venue.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do. It is a nice market, I will say. People have been very kind.
to
'Cause
summarize
well-
that advice, I think what we were saying is that because Joanne Baber just said we had to talk you into having live sales, and I think she was talking about you, Jeffrey, but I think it also applies to us because we said that we would never have live sales.
Oh yeah.
We said it was never
Well,
a thing. We would never do it.
whenever you don't understand something, you're quick, I'm speaking
Yes.
generally, you're quick to say, oh, I can't. That doesn't
Yes.
apply to me. So
Yes.
So I think
that's-
the key. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
well, I was just saying, yeah, that's just true. And it kind of overlaps into the categories thing we're talking about, where I think the more you know, the more you can buy, the more you understand. It's all about, for me at least, understanding what I'm doing. If I know why I'm buying something, then I'm more likely to buy it. Because I did a video way back about 5 things I wouldn't buy. I know jewelry was on there because I was overthinking it. I thought, I don't know anything. I don't know all the labels and no, I just buy what looks good. And
Yeah.
that tends to be what works. People actually tend to buy what they like as a buyer, and you want to collect it. You're going to buy what you like. So it's the same
I
thing.
agree.
I
I bought
was
some
overthinking it.
jewelry the other day at an auction, and I'm not a jewelry. I know nothing about jewelry, costume or otherwise. Nothing. I know nothing. And I just bought some lots, and I thought, well, this stuff is kind of cool, and hopefully somebody will buy it, and they did. So, I agree with you. You kind of gotta have an eye. You kind of do. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't ever want to discourage anybody because there's room for everyone. But
It's not an analytical thing. I don't think you can think your
No.
way through this business. I think you have to have
No.
some sort of creativity and
Intuition.
Yes.
you need to know the market. You need to know, I don't mean like what things are selling for necessarily. I mean what styles are prevalent, what people are looking for. And that's where that's where I come out of. I'm just thinking in terms of like styles all the time. And
Uh-huh.
well, I could see this. Somebody wants this like in this room for this, like I think or if they collect, different things, but
Yeah.
That's another big thing. And I know Misty has talked about this when we've had Zoom talks privately amongst ourselves. People have to be able to visualize what they're buying. And that is so true. Okay, Jeffrey, I'm not kidding you. I am so self-centered I
watch your sales, Jeffrey.
do you say, oh, and you know what? You can use this for the. Now that is not to say that I haven't been at your sales, because
Jeffrey
I
does
have.
that.
I do it sometimes, but I also like sales to move along, and I feel like I don't have to drill certain things into people's heads. I think some things are self-evident. So I will do it if it's kind of a unique item that maybe you haven't really seen or thought about before, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell somebody that they can put flowers in a vase.
I
So
I do. I almost demand that they do what I say.
What do you mean almost?
Now listen to me. This is what you need to do with this, and I expect pictures.
Oh my God. It's the worst. Jeffrey, can I just come to you? Oh my God.
All right.
Talk about, he's like, I want to move the sale along. That's my dream.
well, I
And
try to
his
play the
mom, like,
balance.
Ugh.
I feel like there's
Yeah.
a balance. There's a balance, and sometimes
There
it
is a
depends on the
balance.
night, but sometimes I'm better than others, but it's fine.
What do you get a lot of like like emails and stuff from people? Do you get a lot of complaints? Do you get a lot of criticism? I'm curious how you handle that. Do you respond
Emails?
to it?
I don't get email complaints. I've had one, but it was it's not worth mentioning. I guess there was absolutely no substance. You know the one I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. And it came about from a live sale interaction that, but anyway, actually there's two now that I think about it, but we won't get into those. But if you mean like comments, like on videos,
Like mean stuff, not like stuff like about your stuff that you're selling, or complaints after
Stuff
somebody's
about
bought
you.
something.
Stuff
I mean,
about
like
something that,
personal,
yeah.
like, do people attack you? Do they,
well, if somebody says something about me as I am, like say there's how I look or talk or say something, I don't internalize that. I'm just like, okay, like so. But if it's something that I can improve on and they word it in a way that I respect them, then I'll take that a little advice and I'll say, oh, okay. I also don't like necessarily ones that interject themselves with multiple people, like you and I. So if there was it was something and they were reading into like our relationship, not that we know, but like like, oh, you're whatever you're mean, basically. They totally hear that. You heard Barb. Um, and that's kind of a common one because you're forced to look at two people and you make comparisons between the two of them. It's not anything wrong. It's the way we are wired, brains.
Mm-hmm.
We're comparison driven machines, essentially. And it's just something I accept, but it is a little annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly annoying because it's not true. And
Yes.
there's lots of variant, there's lots of we're not one-dimensional people by any means either. So it's not like Barb is a little flower that just blows in the wind. She has her moments too. So do I. It's like these archetypes are kind of hilarious. So
I think that is interesting about this
yeah.
whole this live reselling situation, is that people have in their minds conjured up exactly who we all are as people.
It's whenever people assume, it's whenever people tell you who you are, basically. I'm like, you don't know me.
That's the whole thing, though, that's my advice to anybody who has or is wanting to start a YouTube channel, regardless of whether you're doing lives, reselling, whatever, doesn't matter. You need to be sure of who you are, even if you're not sure of what you're going to do with your life or whatever, what your channel's even going to be. You have to be confident with every single thing that you're going to do, because somebody's not going to like it. Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to say to yourself, yeah, okay, who cares?
Like the first time you got, again, we have not done this very long. I mean, you've done lives basically as long as we have.
Yeah.
So
did you do other lives before you did reselling?
What?
Did you do other lives before you did sales? Sorry.
I don't think so. Maybe I did like a random haul or something. I didn't use lives because I don't know what I liked. I don't know. having a schedule, being able to like do it one day, and maybe if I don't feel like doing it,
Are you pretty regimented? I mean, do you
I
like
don't know.
do you like a schedule?
I don't know. Like sometimes I'm trying to come up with I think it's not easy around here necessarily to go live any given time because we've got the dog and then Aaron, and I don't feel like I can focus enough. So, but if I do a video, then I can edit things out and keep it kind of concise. With the building, I'm more likely to go live, basically, because I'm essentially by myself all day. So I can do whatever I want and, not get interrupted.
Wait a minute. Did you say where? At a
The shop.
building? You have a
Come
shop?
on.
Yes, Mom, he has a shop.
Oh,
Jeffrey,
Jesus.
this is not your fault. There's nothing you did wrong.
When did that happen?
Mom, recently.
You're kidding me. Are you
No!
kidding?
Congratulations!
Okay,
Wait a minute.
Jeffrey, I need to first of all stop you because there is a solid chance that she and I watched the video together about you going to the shop.
Wait, what is it? Just like a workspace, or are you selling things out of it?
It's mostly a workspace now because everything's closed anyway, and I'm still kind of getting it together.
But that's where we do the sales.
That's where I do live sales. Yeah,
Barb,
did you
are
think I
in
just
on
have
this
random?
too?
Oh, that's right. You don't watch my live sales.
Barb, are you part of this whole venture?
Oh my gosh. She's there for the live sales.
I know, but I didn't know if she was like an investor.
Oh my God.
She invests her personality.
Yes, and her patience with you, Brad.
Sure.
So, no, what I was gonna ask, I had no idea. Well,
Okay.
good for you.
Oh my God. Please, Lord, help me.
Here's what I was gonna ask you.
By
So
the way,
the
I bought it
first
in
time-
November. Just so you
Oh,
What happened?
know.
got it in November.
Oh,
God, it feels like November was like 4 days ago.
really? I feel like November was like 2 years ago.
Really?
Feels like a long time to me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So the first time you got like a crappy comment from somebody, are you pretty confident in like as a person generally? Are you a confident person?
I mean, in certain areas I am, but not every area. I don't think anybody is 100% confident in everything they do.
No,
But
but I mean, you don't.
I
suffer
know-
from you're no wallflower. You're not shy. You're not.
No, and I believe in myself a lot. I know I have a strong, and that kind of overcomes other things. So
Yes.
but I can take a lot, basically.
Did
Hang on.
What happened? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Well, I'll tell you this though. I was picked on quite a bit whenever I was in school. And so I had to build up something. And what I see whenever I see negative comments is I see other people's issues. I see the projections. I wonder, okay, they must be really going through something. And sometimes I actually feel bad for them because that's like their lens. That's all they see is that. And they must tell other people what's wrong with so it's like I write it off in different ways, but if it's applicable and it's something I need to change or should or want to, then I will do that. But
Yeah.
I was pretty shocked the first time. Let me tell you something. When your parents die, well, I've told my kids this. Both my parents have died, and they were my biggest cheerleaders. And I mean, they told me how great I was on the daily.
Dallas Cowboys style.
Yeah.
That's how good cheerleaders.
Yeah. And then they died, and then I don't have my cheerleaders anymore. So then I'm like, okay, well,
Now you've got these haters of children who tell you.
I've got these jerk children. So, I just was so astonished the first time. I guess, not that I can't, trust me. If anybody can take it, it's me. But I thought, oh my God, is this really what people think of me? Good Lord. I mean, I've been living my whole life thinking I was the greatest thing since sliced bread, thanks to my parents. And now, it just kind of throws you, doesn't it?
I mean, I think you're the only one who really knows that right now. But like from your parents dying and then being alive, But
You guys just wait. Just wait.
I wasn't taken back by it, if that's what you mean, because
weren't?
I almost expect it. Yeah.
So, Jeffrey, here's my theory on that. Because we grew up with the internet. I remember when YouTube started, was created. She does not. She doesn't know.
No, I do remember when it started. I remember
you didn't
before
grow up
that.
with it. You were.
What you're trying to say is I remember before
yes,
that.
you were. We grew up with it, and we know how terrible people can be.
Mhm.
And so we're just we know.
Yeah. Well, here's something. Yeah. So I'll be watching another YouTuber, not even reselling related, and I'm like, wow, they're a really good person. Like they have it all. Like they have the whole package. And I go reading the comments, and bam, there's something, and somebody's not found something that's wrong with the video or the person. I'm like, that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter who you are. There's going to be people out there that will do this, and that's one way you can kind of immerse yourself in YouTube and understand the culture, people. But
Boy, it's a culture, and that holy pants.
That's exactly the word for it. It's because it really is. It's even. I don't know. Facebook is kind of getting to that area too. But so the funny thing about Facebook is that
I gotta grab a water.
Okay, will you also grab me one?
Yeah.
So YouTube kind of was always known as like that vicious place, and now that the generation of my mom or even older are like getting into the internet, especially because they're home, it's become a very vicious place. So I don't know. It's kind of funny.
We're evil.
I mean, they can be.
well, I don't see YouTube as a vicious place, really.
Not the way that I thought it was. I don't know.
I think you can kind of tune where you want to focus on it and let that drive how you react, I guess. But of course I get the occasional bad comment. I don't even look at thumbs downs, by the way. Like I really could care less because
I don't care either.
Well, you're giving me interaction for one thing, but what am I going to do with that? I don't know what. Maybe you had a bad day. Maybe you stubbed your toe. Maybe you thought you hit the thumbs up and you slipped because you're learning how to use a mouse. I don't know.
See, you approach it probably in a much better way. I approach it in, okay, well, let's see. Now I have to spend the rest of my life trying to make this person like me because I do.
And this is what I have to talk her down from all the time.
Barb, do you get like, it isn't even that my feelings are hurt. That's not it.
It's that you're irritated that people don't think of you the way that your parents thought of you.
I just can't stand the idea of somebody not liking me. I will go, if I have to make somebody's car payment for them, I will. That's how much I hate it.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, it will bother me if people don't like me to a point, I guess, but I haven't dealt with that much of that on YouTube, yet to really know. Like, if somebody really sent me some hateful email, like, would I just say I'm done with YouTube? I mean, I might want to say that, but I don't think I would.
No. Well, it's because you're like Snow White, Barb. I mean,
that's by design.
Pure as the freshly fallen snow. For God's sake, could you be any nicer? Honestly.
Jeffrey's just waiting for the day when he could like secretly record something that I don't know is being recorded, and then he's gonna be like, "Look, she said something mean."
I think
Barb, you don't have a
make her so mad.
Body. What is your Barb? I assume you're married.
Uh-huh.
What does your husband do?
He does draws up designs for countertops.
Oh, cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Gotcha. So now how do your guys Barb, how involved are you? Just over for the lives, or do you guys are you involved otherwise in the business? Like, do you do shipping too? Well, obviously your own stuff you ship.
We just basically decided to do it where instead of, me shipping my stuff separately, I just come for shipping and we do it all together. And I basically wrap things and then he boxes it up. So.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it
No,
just
go
takes
ahead,
about
Jeffrey.
4 hours, I think, on average.
Oh my
for a
gosh,
live.
only 4
Jesus.
hours?
What you guys flying?
We're
through
down
it?
there like.
I'm still working on shipping. Oh my God. I hate to ship. Okay. I love to hate shipping. I love to make things fit the way they're supposed to fit, but I hate shipping. So now I'm getting to the point where everybody who buys is just going to have to come to my house and pick up their stuff. And I don't care where they live. You Canada people, you better have your passports in order. Because, God dang it. There's just a million other things I'd rather be doing.
That's one thing that's going to be nice. Hopefully, with his shop, that hopefully he's going to have a few pop-up sales once, things die down a little bit, hopefully by the summer, right? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And then, we can sell some bigger things, hopefully. Hopefully, people will want
I think we're pretty close to you guys.
to
I mean, you're
come.
down
And
around St. Louis, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty close
You
to
got that
St.
right.
Louis. Yeah, we're not far from
Yeah. No, I really don't think you are.
you. Mm-mm.
We're about 45 minutes east of St. Louis.
Oh,
And
awesome. Yeah, I've got my aunt and uncle are from there. My cousin lives down there, my aunt, who's my godmother. So in fact, we are due a trip down to see my aunt before she drops dead. So
yeah, it's coming close.
um,
Man, she has held on she's like Jesus's best friend.
oh God.
Like
She has got some
they went to high school together. They
Uh-huh.
were, bowling teammates. Lord Almighty.
she has got a life, that girl. I'll tell you what, but I do need to get down there. So we will come to see this mysterious shop that I didn't know about.
Okay, listen. Jeffrey has a migraine, so let's do 2 more questions.
How does your
I mean,
day-
I'm fine.
You're
I
okay?
didn't know I was so obvious with it.
No, I just when somebody says like they have a need, then that's all I think about. So
I never thought twice about it. I heard Jeffrey has a migraine. Okay, moving on.
well, that's because you don't watch his sales, Mom. Okay.
Well,
you
the only
barely
reason
even
why I
knew
said it is
existed
because
before
I wanted people to know why maybe I am doing this every now and again, because sometimes I forget I'm doing it. Or
You're not
I
being
look
obvious at all.
No.
okay.
What does your day look like? How do you like when you get up? Tell me how your day looks? Like
Well,
on a no, I just want to know how your day looks.
Well, okay, so on a shopping day, I'll get up and gosh darn, there's like so many variables. So as of lately, there hasn't been a whole lot going on. So for instance, this morning, I did not leave the house until about 9, and I went over to the shop and I hung some pictures up on the pegboard because I got some new hooks in, and I needed to see them better. I wanted to see them better. It's just for me mostly. I wanted to see them. So I did that. I took the packages that I wrapped yesterday with me to the post office, and I did that. I got a subscriber gift and I unboxed that, but I didn't do it on camera. I need to do something with it on camera because it's quite amazing. Today's actually a really slow day. Really it is. And I think tomorrow night I have a sale, but I think tomorrow's also gonna be kind of slow, which is okay because I just got done. Well, I went thrifting with Misty for however long. Then I went with Aaron and went I kind of do things in excess a little bit all in one time, and then it burns me out where it's more mental. It's like I'm
Yeah.
mentally drained, and I don't have the bandwidth to process and be myself, and let alone the camera. So,
Are
it
you
really
do you have specific? I'm just wondering how structured you are. There's a lot of people that do this that have, I mean, you have Aaron, and you cannot completely ignore Aaron, So do you guys have, okay, tonight do you have certain days that you sit down and have dinner together? Do you have certain days you guys go out? How does that work?
All right. Well, we're pretty individual. I'm an only child, so we come into this I come into a relationship with a certain amount of autonomy, and I like that, and I like the freedom that comes with. But then there are times whenever we need others, for different reasons. So we are okay. Aaron, for instance, today is his birthday, and he went on
happy birthday, Aaron.
yeah, he's not here, but he went on a train.
Sing to him.
his thing he likes to do is trains. So he went on a train trip with his friends, and I do not like trains, and I'm not going to do that. So that's his thing. He got to do that. And then so we will watch like Netflix shows depending, but we're very particular. It depends. We have to be on the same.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of, we don't go out though because especially now, there's like, and on top of that, I'm not really a big hobbies person. I reselling is my hobby, my passion, all in one, and I like just having the one thing that I can. I don't know.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? When you can make your hobby your living. That's lovely.
Yes.
Are you a social, like, okay, pretend COVID doesn't exist. Prior to that, did you guys go out a lot? I mean, are you a social
No, I
go out
think
with
compared to
friends and
most,
stuff?
I think compared to most people, probably. Well, I don't know if I would lump myself into most people, but I know compared to others, some that go to say bars and stuff, we wouldn't
That's
do that because, well, I don't really drink. It screws with me. But secondly, usually they're kind of loud and it gives me a migraine. I'm really
right.
like an old person. I don't
Well,
know,
let
I
me
mean
tell
that
you
in a
something.
bad way. I'm just like, the
Be good
ailments
for
are
your
just,
pancreas, and it'll be good to you. There's a pro tip for the day. Don't start drinking.
yeah, no, I tried and it doesn't work. So we're
Barb,
not
are
going to
you
do.
social minus COVID? Are you social? Do you like go out with girlfriends and stuff?
No, not really. I mean, it's my husband and I just like basically are, the kind of people that go out once every 5 years, like
Us
on
too.
our own anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Us too. I'm not kidding you. I would live down in my family room / office the entirety of my life and never leave it if I had the choice.
If I didn't call her and say your grandkids are coming over, I think she might still be there once I leave today.
Yeah, this was another question I was going to ask you guys if you're a good friend. I am a terrible friend. And I need anybody who is watching this that knows me in any capacity to know that. I am the worst friend you will ever have.
She really is. She doesn't call back.
I won't call you back. I won't email you.
She won't call you initially.
I want you, the
Laughing because we're very similar.
yeah, the few people in my life that are in my life have to physically insert themselves in my life.
Yes.
I don't call my kids. I don't
know. You call me all the time.
With something of.
That is not true. How many times have you called me at like 2 a.m? Hey, are you awake?
Well, because I have something important to tell you that pertains to me. But no, I'm a terrible friend. I really am. And I don't,
I'm learning that about myself too. Like I was in denial, I think, for a long time, thinking, oh, well, I just forget some things sometimes. But well, it's a mixture of really that. I will read text messages and I'll answer them in my head, or
right.
I'll say, oh, I'll come back to that whenever I have a better answer than the one I currently have.
Right. And it's never intentional. It's just that I read it, or I see that I've gotten a phone call, and then I totally forget about it. And then it's just gone forever. I don't. And then people think, oh my God, Sarah. No, I'm terrible. I bet Barb is a good friend.
Yeah, she keeps track of a lot of things. I was actually surprised that I remembered this tonight. I mean, you didn't have to remind me or anything. So
you know what? I totally get it.
She called me and asked me what time it was. So
it's kind of weird though, because in some ways I'm like really like I'm always like on time with things, and I'm really good about, I want to be punctual and like professional, whatever. But as far as like dates on a calendar, I'm like, oh my, I don't even know what day it is and all the things. And like you asked, like, what's my schedule? I don't have like a schedule. I know that generally speaking, we're either going to ship on Saturday or Sunday, depending on if there's like an auction or something, or if she has a game for one of her kids, or if I just don't feel like it, or one of us, whatever. Or, so there's not, I mean, there's like, I don't know.
Do you have a personal life at all? That's what I was asking, really. Like, are you one of those people that are like, all right, I've got to carve out 3 hours for Aaron this week. Or you want, I'm just like, screw it. I just work constantly. That's all I do.
Well, I don't work constantly. Like if we weren't doing this, I would, because I've started leaving my computer at the shop. So
Oh, I was going to ask you something else.
I created that, distance. And that has helped me because now I'm like, oh yeah, there's Netflix. That's something I could watch. But because I would just sit on the computer and just do whatever and mindlessly drift away. So that has helped a lot. The having a business life and then like, oh yeah, maybe I could just like not do something tonight and just do something else, take a bath or whatever. Like,
that takes discipline. I don't have that kind of discipline.
Well, that's why I have to leave the computer at the shop.
Yeah.
If it's not here, I can't do anything.
And I can't, oh yeah, see, my solution to that would be just never leave the shop. And I mean that sincerely. I'd be there till about 4 a.m. Then I'd come home, sleep for about 3 hours and start again.
It's something you could work on.
Yeah, right.
It's something you should work on.
Yes.
You should work on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't have that much stuff. I'm not going to make up stuff for me to do. I'm not going to just bury my head in the sand and create projects for me. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, no, there has to be a reason why I'm doing something. So if I'm done at the shop, I'm done. I'm not going to just sit there and twiddle my thumbs and think, well, what else can I do? Could I start tomorrow's things? Yeah. And I just said tomorrow's things like as if there was a schedule, but sometimes I'll say, well, I'll just do that tomorrow because it's a whole day that I can control, and we can start from scratch and I'm too tired to do this. So we'll do it tomorrow. So that's just.
So you recognize when you're done. See, I don't recognize when I'm done. I just don't. I'm like a puppy who you can't leave too much food out for because I will just continue to eat. I just don't recognize when I'm done.
Misty is like that too.
Yeah.
And she would admit that.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I feel like
before all of this, I did have we did go out, not you and I, but Aaron and I would go out, we would do things, and I guess we were searching for things to do, even if it was just browsing Big Lots and buying junk, fine. But like,
okay, so regarding that, I found this really comical so our youngest is in kindergarten this year, and they actually are in school now.
Oh, very good. Congratulations.
Yeah, and so my husband, had too much vacation building up and he had to take a day off once in a while. So we're like, oh my gosh, we could go do something. So we're like, well, what do you want to do? And it's like, all I can think of is to go to antiques shops or whatever. Yeah. And like, he doesn't know he's not really that into it, but he doesn't know what to do. So it's like, I don't even know what to do with my time other than go thrifting. That's like all
Yes, exactly.
So here's the thing though, this is how I'm pretty much driven. If there's not a reason for me to do something, I'm just not going to do it. So I'm like, okay, I've said this many times in my head. Oh, I need a hobby. I need something to go do. But if it's something like I thought, oh, maybe I'll paint or maybe I'll try adult coloring book. I was able to successfully color a book for about 10 minutes before I lost my mind.
I agree.
I said, why am I doing this? I'm wasting my time with this, and I'm like stressed out because I'm like, what else can I be doing? This is like pointless. And so, yeah. So basically my problem is every kind of activity has to have some sort of a reason why I'm doing it. It doesn't have to necessarily make me money, but I have to feel fulfilled by it. And I will say that like walking the trail has been something that lasts about 15 minutes before I'm done with that. So
I am very much the same way. I can't just randomly have a hobby that I'm not going to get something out of.
I'm jealous of people that can, honestly though, because I'm like, how can you? I'm like, how you guys are like, you're just so content. And it looks like there's no, like, you just know, like, you know what? We're going to do yoga for an hour.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh my God. The things I could be doing in that hour, my God. Or like one time I thought, and when I do something, I go in 1,000%. Like if I'm going to do, okay, now I'm just going to do jigsaw puzzles. I've decided So
Oh my
I'll
God.
go and buy 20 jigsaw puzzles and pay $500 because that's who I am.
And every single tool, like the separating boxes.
The
But
mat,
not just boxes.
the mat.
They have to be the specific jigsaw puzzle separating box.
And then you don't do them, right?
No, yeah, she did it for 2 weeks.
No, not good. What?
That's what she did for about 10
It's
minutes.
Yeah,
basically
I
like
did
you're
it for about
trying
10
to,
minutes.
it's like you're trying to fill a hole. I mean, you're
Yeah.
basically buying your you're buying your answer because you're like, I'll just throw $500 at money at this, and that's where I'm going to need to be, and that'll solve it. And it
Yes.
doesn't.
I finally narrowed in on the assemblages. That, I mean, I've always been pretty arty, but I've had all of these separate little things, and now it just has come into place. And in the meantime, I've spent about $50,000 trying to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
I'm
that's
54,
fine.
so that's good.
Yeah, people are saying they like puzzles. I don't like them. Like, I find them kind of boring. Like, a
Oh
lot of
God, I want to throw them through the window. Oh my God.
well, they're stressful to do. I'm
Yes.
like, I cannot find this stupid piece. Is it even here? Do they put this thing together? Are all the pieces here? And then it's like, okay, it's done. Now what?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Show my neighbor? Neighbor, look what I did. I'm going to glue it together and hang it on the wall like people.
God, I am so with
Look at my
you.
Thomas Kincaid puzzle.
The painter of light. Yes.
I'm going to put some LEDs in it to give it that realistic effect.
Yeah. I am with you, and I am so.
I feel bad because I know there's probably a few of you out there that are like, I have a puzzle on my wall. What do you
I'm literally doing a puzzle right now.
Oh, and it's going on the wall. So thanks.
I have a
Jeffrey.
tendency to find comedy in a lot of things, and that gets me in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, well.
I rein it in quite a lot for YouTube.
She doesn't rein in it at all, and it's going fine. So I would urge you to just let it go.
Nah, they know who I am. No, but I do admire the people that have hobbies just for the sake of it being a hobby.
Yeah.
I really do.
And
admire
I'm not making fun of the people that do puzzles because
I'm not either.
because I would love it if I would feel fulfilled in doing that because it's so simple. And it's like, oh yes, just let your mind drift and go into a meditative state. That's what I would see it as. And just go and feel content and happy doing it.
My God, what I wouldn't give.
And I'm jealous of that because I feel like I have to put something productive in every moment of my life. Otherwise, I'm just a sloth.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel bad about myself.
Barb, I suppose you're a jigsaw puzzle doer, being Snow White and all.
No, I don't have the right mind for puzzles, I don't think. I actually bought a couple like Art Deco era puzzles during the like beginning of you know what, and like my husband just basically had to take over. Like I started and I have such a good excitement and then it just goes downhill.
What do you have any hobbies?
My hobbies are taking kids to their activities.
Absolutely
So
right.
that's now eventually I have a violin that's been sitting under my bed for about probably 10 years. So eventually I'd like to do that. But
You tried learning the piano one time.
yeah.
That's a hobby.
Did?
She did.
Good for you, Barb.
Yes, you did.
Well, I bought an old piano and I mean I play around with it, but that's about it. But I played the clarinet in band in high school. So
If you
I
can
like
play the
instruments,
clarinet,
but-
you can play the piano. You just have to
yeah.
Well, good for you. What are your kids? Are your kids already? Tell me about your kids. Are they athletic?
The oldest is really athletic. He does like soccer, baseball, basketball. And then the one after him is the complete opposite. She she'll do a little bit of sports, but she's just not competitive. And so it's just
Sounds like my
different.
kids.
And then the next girl, she's competitive and she likes sports. And then the little guy, he's just having fun with it. So
He's
but
just
yeah,
little. He's just the baby.
yeah, they do a lot of sports, but my oldest daughter is probably a little bit more like me. And yeah, she's in band now. And I mean, I think I could have done sports. My parents didn't get me into it. So yeah, but she's a little quieter like me. So
Jeffrey, what were you like when you were young? Did you play sports or anything?
No, but they tried. I mean, they they tried getting me into will be baseball. Well, not getting me into. We played like baseball in the backyard. When I say we, I mean my uncle or my dad and me. They took me to the hockey thing at one point, and we tried that, and that wasn't a good thing. I'm
I
great
don't
at,
see hockey being a good fit for you.
I mean, I was graceful enough not to fall, but the whole puck and the whole, I'm not team oriented. So
You're not like a killer. You got to be kind of, you got to be kind of ruthless to be a hockey player.
yeah, I guess so.
You
But
know,
in general, I'm not so excited to be part of a team thing because I'm like, what's the point of this? But especially in a sport, I'm like, what are we doing this for? What is it going to
Right.
mean for us when we're done? Oh boy,
Right.
we won! Congratulations. So
Yeah, he doesn't understand like at all. Like, my kids' sports games are like the only thing I would probably say is more important than like, thrifting and selling and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's like I would never pass up one of their games, for something like
Right.
that. It's just like you just get so into it, it's because they love it and you want to see them, do what they love. So
And you're either competitive or you're not, like team wise.
right, and I think obviously you have to be competitive somewhere. I think it's mostly just with myself and self growth, and
Yes.
I mean I've read a lot of books on things, but we don't need to get into that either.
what'd you do in high school? Were you like in band or were you in
Or
drama?
arty or
No. So I was
No.
in the computer technology club because
Attaboy.
I made websites in my spare time,
nice.
and I had fun with that. I've always liked making things. And whenever the internet really came about and it was like this thing that I could really do whatever with, I loved it because it was like endless possibilities. I was coding HTML, and the graphics thing was kind of like the side part of it that I was like, oh, I don't have to use my brain. I could just make designs.
Right.
And so then I started like falling out of the HTML and the coding because that's like a whole thing of like JavaScript and CSS and PHP and all these languages we don't want to know about. And then so I learned about the graphic design aspect of it. I'm like, well, the front end development is nice because you can just like make things pretty. And I like making things pretty. And I was watching a lot of HGTV shows. And
Oh yes.
yeah.
Did
So yeah.
Where did you guys grow up? Did you grow up around where you live now?
Mhm.
You
Nice.
did? Did you too, Barb?
Mhm.
Oh, you did? So did you, well, let's see, you've known Aaron 8 years. How old are you? 31. So you didn't know him in high school, did you?
No. Mm. We met in 2012 and I graduated in 08.
Oh, gotcha. So beyond that, I didn't know if you guys had gone to school together or not.
We're closer in age than I thought we were. I graduated in 2009. Interesting.
Interesting.
Nice
You little
tidbit.
brats. God, you guys drive me out of my mind.
Yeah.
I mean it.
Well,
Yeah.
see, actually, my hometown is 45 minutes away, and where I live now is her hometown. But I bought a house in my hometown, and I was only really there for like 3 years, something like that. And then, well, anyways, I have a problem of oversharing, so I'm trying not to.
You're doing great.
Yeah. Wow. Welcome to my life.
Like I'll just like if somebody asks me questions, I just answer it, and I have like no wall with certain subjects.
Jeffrey, you couldn't be more in good company.
I think people tease about, oh my God, can you imagine Misty and Sarah? I think it's more Sarah and Jeffrey together.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
yeah.
Misty wears me out though, because she's a lot more what's the word? Energetic. Like she has a lot more energy behind her. I think it's because of whatever's going on in her brain. But like she
Yes,
I mean,
we're
she
of like
has.
minds.
I don't know if she has ADD or not. She'll probably tell
Yes.
you if you ask her what it is. But she can goes a mile a minute sometimes. And she told me, and she's like, whenever my other friends here, we won't even eat. We'll just go from like start the day and all the way till Goodwill's closed. And I'm like, I don't know how
I
you.
think she mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm
I
like,
think she
no,
mentioned she was shopping with you, or was it Misty that said that?
Yes.
And then you had said, well, should we get some lunch or whatever? She's like, well, okay.
yeah, I'm more balanced in it than she is, like a lot. But
Oh,
I was
no,
emotionally drained. Dealing with her is draining. Really, it is. That's not a negative
In a
thing.
good way.
Yeah, I'm just not a negative. See, I'm not good at delivery sometimes. I assume people understand what I'm saying.
I think she's gonna watch that and die laughing.
she is.
I'm
She's
not
gonna
worried
make me
about
a
what
t-shirt
Misty
that
thinks.
says I'm emotionally draining. That's going to be her new merchandise. I
Emotionally
Misty,
draining.
emotionally draining.
Yeah, you know,
That's your new merchandise, Misty.
Oh my god.
emotionally drained.
That's funny. What are you when you're out picking, this is for both of you. What are you guys
Giving
picking
it
up right
side
now?
eye.
What are you picking up the most of?
You were.
What are you looking for the most right now when you're out picking?
Things that spark joy. No, who's that
Listen,
person that
Marie.
gets rid of? Yeah. I mean, it really depends. Of course, I'm looking for things that I recognize in live sales that are popular because that's my venue of choice that I sell at. I look for things that are different that I haven't bought before, which is hard. It's getting harder and harder to do, but you always are going to find different things because that's life. But and especially it's more so whenever I'm into other states, because whenever you're just in one area, you kind of have the same sort of stuff coming up a lot.
Yeah.
So
I gotta travel. I have to, because otherwise, first of all, we don't have a whole lot of. Des Moines is a sizable city. I mean, it's not
it's
tiny.
not tiny. It's not humongous, but it's not
There's
tiny.
just not a lot of. I gotta go to Omaha a lot. I need to go down to Kansas City too, and up to
Indiana
Minneapolis.
has a lot. Misty is always finding, like, she has a ton of places to shop for, and I was like, it's like, so around
No, it just
here,
sucks.
there's not a whole lot, but
What
I'm
we
trying.
do have is good, but there just isn't a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get into the mode of like driving specifically to areas, even if they're like 2.5 hours away, and then like just spending the day there and doing as much shopping as I can, just to get that variance rather than like, and that way I wouldn't have to take like, multi-day trips if I didn't. Because those do knock me out.
Do you still have leftover stuff from your Etsy store?
Yes. It's just kind of waiting to be sold. Like I'll eventually sell it in a live sale, but I don't have it in any specific, it's all mixed together at this point. So I'm not sure if I could even pinpoint all the different things.
Do you sell pretty much the same stuff that you listed in your store, or do you?
No. And I'm trying to think of, well, pretty much yes, but not the same exact stuff.
I have something to say about that. Like,
Go ahead, Barb.
It was crazy how when we started the sales, I started realizing, wait a minute, why the people, they want to buy these things that would have never sold, like months ago, or like, on Etsy or something. And I think it just really changes. There's just phases, and whatever is in. So
it's a serious ebb and flow.
Oh my God, it is so fluid. It's at week to week. You never know. Like 1 week, Occupied Japan figurines are all the rage. And the next week you think, okay, well, all right, I'll go out and pick out a bunch of, Occupied Japan stuff. And you hold it up and people are looking at you like,
they're like, wow, your hair looks so nice today.
What the living hell are you doing selling that garbage?
Well, that's funny you mentioned that. That actually was kind of similar to our last live sale. Because I was selling a good number of Occupy Japan because it has a nice specific date, and that's helpful for people who are like, oh, I want that 19. Well, I'm not going to get the date. I know the date. Every time I mention the date, we get 12 people.
Then we get into like a 20-minute conversation about Occupy Japan. Yeah.
So I had a few things, and they didn't do as popular as I thought they might based on previous experience. So it is what it is. But but there's a little bit of differences, but not a whole lot. And there's certain things that I couldn't have sold before, But then again, that was like 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
things actually do change.
Oh my God, constantly.
For instance,
What is-
I wouldn't list clear glass on Etsy. I don't know if I still would. But I think it helps with the different angles, showing if it's cut glass, for instance, you can show, all the patterns in it. And
I
yeah,
still I'm not hugely drawn to it. I know it is,
Sorry.
it's coming back again. I'm just not hugely drawn to it. I don't have what is like when you're out shopping, what is something regardless of whether or not it's going to sell, you cannot pass it up.
do you know for me or do you know for you?
I was thinking, I don't know. I was trying to think for you.
Probably like a kitschy figurine or like ceramic figurines. I can't help it. Like, I don't know if there's any other example.
I think you kind of like go through phases with different things that at the time you're like, oh, if I see one, I'm getting it. Like, you just kind of get into that phase. But
See, Barb, you buy, it seems to me when you buy stuff, because I have watched your sales.
She was actually just trying to catch up, like, while we were talking.
I'm like, Sam, we're on a sale right now so I can watch. But it seems like you buy things, Barb, that you would have in your house.
that's exactly true because I'm a collector at heart. Like, I don't want to sell most things. So it's, I buy things and I'm doing this because I obviously can't keep all the things. So I can at least keep things for a while, and enjoy them. And then when, that thing doesn't look quite as shiny anymore, well, then pass it on. And so that's, yeah. But
you're a little more transparent about what, like I could almost describe to a police sketch artist what your house looks like. I'm almost positive. Jeffrey,
yeah,
I don't
probably.
know. Because you just sell just such a huge swath of things. I don't know. Now I know you like kitschy flamingo Florida stuff. And like what else?
Well, I specifically don't have large collections of things because I don't want to make that something that I associate. Flamingos is pretty much my thing. And
I thought you were going to turn on their sale right now. Sorry. Yeah,
I
don't either.
I have a little chocolate a little chocolate box collection that is at the end of the hall. And it has there's a chocolate pod and a few of the metal boxes, like old Whitman's tins and things. But I would sell them if the time was right, and I'm not like attached to them. The flamingos I'm more attached to, and I probably wouldn't. But whenever I'm buying something, shopping, I have the emotion in my head of I would like this in my house if I wanted it full of stuff.
Yes.
But I'm not going to attach myself to it. I know that I'm going to buy it because I like it, but I bet you somebody else likes it a lot more where they're willing to have it in their house.
Like on our Facebook group, people, I don't collect anything either. I cannot pass up
Aaron's
kids.
here.
I can't pass up a vintage kids book to save I can't. I just bought 1, 2, 3, 6 or 7 more today. I can't pass them up. I don't sell them. I should. But beyond that, I don't collect anything. But I do love what other people collect. Like, like I asked on our Facebook group to have people post pictures of the stuff they collect. First of all, I am astonished at how well people can put things together. I am shocked. But I'll tell you what, our subscribers have really good taste.
Yeah, they really do.
And then just like I love their collections. I love them.
Yeah,
but I don't collect anything.
They're good to look at, but I couldn't. I would get overwhelmed if I had that in my house. And I have I just remembered I have a little collection of Belite too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And I don't know why I started liking that, but I really just like the delicacy and the color of the porcelain with the little hints of green. And
yeah, Belite is pretty.
Yeah,
I agree.
When I see like other people's collections, and they're so amazing, and it just makes me like, I wish I could only have that one or two things, you know, to collect and do that. It's just I like so many things, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
What is it, Barb? What are you actively collecting right now?
Oh gosh. Well, you know, the like Russian Santas, of course, everybody knows about those, but
Yeah.
also just any like rubber faced old, you know, vintage stuffed animals, and then restaurant wear, which I really need to stop.
That's a dumb thing to collect because it's so freaking heavy.
Oh my God, it is so heavy.
You have what, like a tower of plates in your closet, like from the floor, like 4 feet up? Like,
Yeah, but I do use it.
Oh my God, if it fell on one of the kids, Barb would kill them.
Lisa Jones, yeah, restaurant wear. It's like that heavy vitrified china that you'd find at a restaurant, and it could have like cool, like stripes or airbrushed designs on it.
It's really
People collect it.
thick.
It's thick.
Yeah.
You could like drop it on the floor and it probably wouldn't break.
Just think of like old Denny's, like those
Yeah.
thick plates that they used to use. That's restaurant wear. And there are some super cool patterns. I love restaurant wear. In fact, I have a bunch of it somewhere, Barb. When we come to St. Louis, it's all yours.
somewhere.
I'm bringing it to you.
And I guess I kind of collect Corel plates. And
Do
why do I
you?
like? Well, I like it because they're practical, and
God,
I
you can't
just
break
get like I get one. You break them?
No, you can't.
Oh, yeah. I buy them because they're practical. They don't break, and they're very lightweight, and they're very fun. They've got all different patterns, and I pretty much have like one. I don't think I have any repeating patterns in there, and I've got like, I don't know, 30 plates, 20, 30 plates. So they're fun.
Do you collect, because I'm going through my head right now. I've got crap I need to get rid of. Do you collect?
Do you need anything?
I already have this ugly rubber faced baby that I'm sending Barb. Or I'm putting a whole box together for you guys when we come down there. Things. Oh my God. Juice.
Yes. The glasses that were in the juice sets with the screen printed.
Yes. Do you collect?
I have a whole bunch.
You do?
I have them on my windowsill, and I drink water out of them. I have about 12 15 of them, and they're all different. Every one of them is a different pattern.
Are they just a certain color?
No, I've got flowers, I've got strawberries,
Oh, Jeff.
all different colors.
Oh, my man. Oh, have I got some glasses for you? I don't know what it is. Now, this has been since last summer. Did you recall me trying to sell these damn things?
Yes.
This was one of those things like, well,
I've had several of those as well.
are you trying? It's like I'm trying to sell them a bag of dog poop. I'm like,
They're like,
these are super collectible, you jerk.
How big are they? Are they the Swanky Swigs or are they the taller ones?
Yes.
No, I don't want Swanky Swigs.
No, I have Swanky Swigs and I have the juice with the lithograph things on them.
Well, they both have graphics
Jeffrey
on,
didn't
but
hurt you. Okay?
what?
She's getting very worked up about this, and it's not
I
you
see
who
that.
hurt her.
So flustered.
You're getting them. I'm telling you, you're getting them. I'm bringing them, every damn one to you.
They would have been used in like picture sets. And now I
Yes.
just have random glasses because I don't want whole picture sets or whole glass sets. I don't have time for that. But I will rescue the random ones that I find for whatever. They're like $1 usually. And
Well,
I'll,
guess what? You're getting them for free.
well, that's exciting. Maybe you should send me a photo first.
I will indeed, you little brat.
Don't want you to waste your money on the shipping.
They're all no. We're coming to see you. I'm
Oh,
not
you're
gonna
coming.
ship these to you. Are you out of your mind?
I guess.
Coming in
I guess I
bulk.
was.
And if you don't want them, I will take them to Goodwill. You'll want them. They're pretty nice. I think I got them like free. I'm not kidding. I got some stuff in an auction, and I think they accidentally gave them to me. They're
Tanya,
cool.
what does that say? I understand not having attachments, but not giving a care what he sells online just makes the newbie people. I think you misunderstood what I said because I do care what I buy. I don't want to own it myself because I don't want a whole bunch of stuff around my house. But I know. And if you were watching earlier,
She's been commenting for a while. I'm gonna put her in timeout. Tanya, I'm gonna put you in timeout
For that?
because you're being a little bit rude. So you need to stop.
well, I thought it was an honest question, but it's okay.
Oh no, it's been going on for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, so the moral of the story is I everything that I buy, I believe in.
Me too.
Meaning if I think it's crap, I'm not going to buy it. Like, even if I know that it sells for $20, $30, I'm like, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. And that also means if it's going to sell for $5, then so it works both ways, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
So
I try to buy things. We're a small enough channel that I have to buy things that I know that I'm going to make a profit on.
you got to be smart.
Yeah.
But like sometimes the emotion kicks in and I'm like, but I just want to be a part of this little journey here. I just want to buy this thing and know that it's going to somebody else. Like I
want somebody to love this as much as I do. I think
I gotta save it.
Please love this as much as I do. I think that every time. And then when they're like, I'm like, okay, well now I hate everyone. Okay, good. Like those damn glasses. I love those glasses. Love them.
Okay.
And here's the problem with me.
I bet you could sell them. I bet you could.
Well, if I sell something one time and it does not go well, like nobody bids on it, nobody wants it, I will never sell it again.
She throws a whole fit about it.
I will.
It's a fit.
I won't ever sell it again. I don't save it for another sale. I don't.
You just throw it on the floor. You're just like,
and smash them. Just forget this. Furious that somebody doesn't love them as much as I do.
Oh gosh.
It isn't even the sale. That isn't it. It isn't even the money. It's like,
right.
I can't believe somebody wouldn't love this as much as I do. Oh, I'm weird about that. Yeah. Believe me, if I didn't have to sell this stuff, if I could give it away to everybody, I would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I love to do that. But, unfortunately, I got to pay my car payment.
Totally.
Unless you want to start.
Do you set a budget for each sale when pricing items, as in, oh, where did it go?
Ooh.
Where did you go? Come back here, Susan.
Do you see that question?
I want to make a certain amount of sales. I do not do that. I have yet to do that because I don't know. It sounds too tedious.
Set a budget. What's the question?
Here now.
Like you say, oh, I want to make, like $1,200. And then you make sure that you have enough stuff to do that. I don't do that. I go off of I'm like, I need 65 items and I want them all to be kind of elemental. I want them all in the same kind of idea. So
yeah, me too.
I choose them based off of aesthetics and how much I'm willing to ship that week, like size wise.
It's never based on how much money I think I'm going to make on something in a sale. Never. I don't ever sit down and say, okay, well, I expect to get about 1,000 for this stuff.
Well, and this business has never been like that. You can't go into reselling thinking you're going to do I am going to make $5,000 every month, and it's going to always be that way. No, it's really not. And
no.
Even YouTube. Here's a YouTube. What?
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
I was going to say, even on YouTube, the YouTube income that we make is not consistent. I think I'm at half of what I was doing in December. So
I think Alex said that too.
Imagine getting 50%. What do they call it? Not a raise, pay cut for doing the same amount of work. That's kind of what that is. But you just got to power through it.
Yeah,
see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of a thing.
Yeah, you do, and it's very. I think I know I've said this with Alex and with Misty as well, that this is actually, if I was to sit down and really parcel out every single thing I spend and on shipping supplies and on my time alone, I am making about 10 cents an hour.
I don't want to know.
I don't even know if I'm making that. I probably owe somebody money somewhere. That's how little, truly.
Well,
it's, people see the side of it, the part of it where, you bought something for $5 and you sell it for 100. Okay. Yeah. There's $95, but there's a lot of money that cuts into that $95, including our time. Time was spent to go get that stuff
too. I pay taxes. I think
that's not the IRS.
Okay. I thought you had to. Okay, fine. But there's lots of hemorrhages money wise that when you own a business. But I will say that the minutia of going through and would be smart to do, yes, to figure out your cost of goods and all this. But all I know is at the end of the month, I'm doing I look at my net, my gross, and I put it against my net, and I say, look, I'm doing good. I don't go item by item though, because I follow the item. I whenever I'm buying something, I don't say, oh well, well, that's kind of stupid. I made $5 on that item, but I made $20 profit on that item. Oh, you need to stop buying that item there because you're not making enough. You just only focus on these. No, because I'd be bored. So
Yeah.
I got to keep myself interested. So that's buying whatever tickles my fancy.
Mhm.
Right. Do you oh shoot, what was I gonna ask you?
I'm not sure. Hang in there. It's in there.
Ask Jeffrey something. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Damn it.
What are you talking about?
I was thinking he was talking, I was gonna ask him something. No, I can't remember what it was.
Deanna, that's an interesting question. The place that I bought was actually cheap enough that I bought it in cash without a mortgage. So
Wow.
Wow.
yeah,
That's awesome.
that helped. Because getting a loan being a reseller is not the easiest thing.
No.
So
Oh, I know what I was gonna ask you. Do you save? Are you a saver? Do you
Money?
save money?
I save almost everything I make.
Do you?
That's awesome.
What am I going to spend it on? More things to sell?
So you have a do you own your house?
It's paid for. Yeah, it's done.
Oh, you piece. Do
Well,
you?
hey, you.
Howdy.
Well, hey, there's somebody in the
Happy
background.
birthday.
Happy
Thanks.
birthday, Aaron.
Just got home from train stuff today.
All
I
right.
said that was your birthday extravaganza.
Aaron, come and sit down for a second.
Come
I
here.
don't- well,
We got to do something for you.
We got something for you.
They want you to.
Oh,
They're going to show you something.
We're not going to show you something. Ready?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Happy birthday
Oh, no.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aaron. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Thanks a
Aaron.
lot. Thanks.
That's
Did you have
exciting.
fun on your
Yeah.
train trip?
What did it say?
I think have fun on your train trip.
No, how did you have fun on your train trip?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I usually there's no such thing as a bad train trip.
What happens on a train trip? What do you mean a train
I'd
trip?
like to know. This is
Are
a
there
debate that we've had.
drinks and flappers.
So how long do you just sit there for like hours on end without anything happening?
Well, we go around to different locations. Depends on what's going on.
You hear that?
We go
On
around
a
to
train?
different locations. We might sit in one particular location like an hour or two sometimes. But if it gets too boring, then we'll go to a different spot.
Fun.
There's Dave. I saw 6 trains today in about 6 hours. That's about what I seen today.
You hear that? He saw 6 trains in 6 hours.
So that I've
awesome.
seen I've had trips where there's way more, and I've had worse. So it
But
just all
what
depends.
I've never understood is what are you getting out of, like, you see a train. So what are you like? What? I'm like, so inside of you, you're like, oh my gosh, here comes a train. Like,
Is it the engine? Is it the body of the train?
is it the body of the train? Do you like the
What's
body?
the-
The locomotive for sure is the most interesting thing normally. But it's the same thing. People that have the fishing hobby, you stand there with a pole in the water for hours. If you get nothing
I've
bites.
never understood that either. So let's not get into that.
It just depends on what you're interested
I
in.
hate fishing.
Well, I mean,
I've
especially
never
if you're not
seen a
doing it to
train
make a
trip.
meal. If you're just going to throw it back, like, okay, that was about pointless right there. But
Make a meal. What are you talking about?
Have we done a train room video?
I would
yeah,
like to see
you just
that.
haven't been a part of it. That's all.
All right, fine. I'll go back and watch.
I've done.
Watch every single video you've ever had.
Now you're just gonna binge watch you and Barb.
I've done a video downstairs in this train corner, as we call it, which is not literally a corner. You hear that?
You've been told.
I'm being directed again.
I can hear what's he saying.
What?
I was directing them because you guys all need to see the train corner, the updates.
But you know
I
what?
want
Though?
to see the updates.
He has a YouTube channel.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Why don't you post your train corner in your YouTube channel? I mean, it would be directed at the train people.
See, that's a part of this train stuff is that the videos I make go on YouTube. So, and I do have somewhat of a fan
Yeah.
base, but not too big yet.
Oh,
That's awesome.
well, if you tell us what it is, we'll put it in the link below. Or we'll link it after this.
It's called, what is it called?
It's
A
Becker Junction.
I was like, I think I've got it. Becker Junction.
Becker Junction.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
We'll link it. We'll put it in the link after this.
Mhm.
For sure. I want to watch it. I want to know what happens in a train.
I want to
YouTube
understand
channel.
more about trains because there is a cult following of trains. And it's like, if I pick something up for somebody, like if I'm buying something, I got to know why they like it. So I always see train stuff and I'm like,
But I don't. Wait a minute here. Now, see, my videos you'll see on there are just it's of the live train stuff. I mean, it's not like I don't know.
He
I'm not gonna
records-
explain why people like
He's
them.
just recording a train. So pretend that you're stuck at the train track
Okay.
and now you get to watch it. So that's what you're going to get.
okay.
It's, if you're not into it, the hobby, it's understandable. I mean, then
Look,
it seems goofy.
I grew up in a town where there was no way to get out of the town without crossing over a railroad track. And I loathed trains because I'm like, can you go? Eventually they built an overpass to solve this, but I'm out of there at that point. So anyway,
Well, I'm sure, Aaron doesn't care about American Bisque. So, fair's fair.
Hey, that's exactly right.
I mean, I don't think that's an apples to apples comparison, by the way.
I do like the
Trying to be
antique stuff.
diplomatic, Jeffrey.
I know what you're trying to do. It's not happening here.
I do like vintage and antique certain things, but not as
Jeff,
much
what
as
do
he
you like?
does. I like the older type clocks. I like railroad stuff, of course, and then older type signs and stuff. Those are the big three things I look at when I go to antique malls with him.
Like metal signs?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
older,
those are expensive.
not recreative new ones or whatever you call it, but the older signs.
Those are
Except you
crazy.
saw the one and he was like, why is it $500? Nobody would pay. I'm like, people would pay $500 for
Oh,
that.
yeah, they will.
And it was a nice big old sign too.
Yeah, they go for some jack. All right, what do we have to add? What do we have? Anything else?
Let's see. Okay.
Jeffrey and Barb. Jeff, as I understand you like to be called.
I've heard.
Really not.
Would you like to do a quartet?
A what?
A round.
No.
A
I have a good one.
How about a round?
I have a good question to end us.
Okay. I was giving them the opportunity to sing with us.
Okay. Well, if you'd like an out on that, I've got another option. What has been your most embarrassing moment on YouTube, Jeffrey and Barb?
Oh my gosh.
I wish I had that question ahead of time.
Probably
Sorry.
did.
I didn't read them though.
I'm on the channel with you. That's embarrassing.
No, it's not. I must have like a blocking mechanism because I don't remember negative things that happen
That's okay.
in general and in life. I forget.
I can't think of anything embarrassing really either on YouTube.
That was a hard question.
because
too.
I don't find anything to be embarrassing. It's very hard to embarrass me.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not really very easily embarrassed. Dang it. I thought that was going to be a good one.
See, Barb, I feel like I could embarrass you magnificently.
Yeah.
Have you been embarrassed?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is not necessarily embarrassed in the moment, but things that, like, when I think about, oh, now that's going to be on the video. Like, and it's not anything bad, but just like on the times when I guess I would maybe get a little bit grumpy, like I feel bad. Like, I don't want to act grumpy, like no one.
Right. Oh, I guess that's maybe a better
Oh, her
question
tummy must hurt, poor little boy.
Like, are there times when, especially you, Jeffrey, because you tend to talk a bit, as I do. Are there times when you think, oh, Jesus,
Oh, Misty.
why did I
Right.
say that?
Yeah, Misty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When I was in Ohio, you didn't probably watch that either, did you? Jocelyn was there. You'd think you would at that point, but I guess not. Jocelyn, me, Misty. We were on this table. We were doing a live haul, and I said something, and I don't even remember what it was. Do
It
you?
was very late.
What
Oh,
did I
and you were
say?
so tired.
I said something that was off, and I just fell under the table, and I melted into it because I just couldn't. What did I say? It was
Yes.
something I was holding. Oh, I remember. I still have that. I had a little thing that was like a vacuum cleaner attachment. And when I get very tired, I words just come out. I'll like, anyway, I think I said something to the effect of I need to be sucked. because
Okay.
I was
don't
like
remember this.
Uh-oh, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. Uh-oh.
I had this thing and I'm like just going like I was pretending I was like and I using it. I'm just like, oh, I need to be sucked.
Oh.
That's what I meant. I wasn't meaning it in another way.
That was so funny.
My word choice isn't always correct. So
Right. Right. Have you ever said something, Barb, this doesn't even apply to you because you're always so nice. Have you ever said something to like somebody like in the chat or something and you're like, oh shit, that's
Oh,
gonna
come backwards.
that's gonna be taken the wrong way. I do all the time.
All the time.
Barb always like thinks I'm riding a fine line. Well, not always, but sometimes because I'm really like if a question is asked, it's hard for me not to respond to it if I see it because I'm like, I've got the answer, let me tell you. But I cannot recall a very specific instance unless you can. You can whisper to my little ear.
No, I
But
don't.
I can't remember.
Oh God,
I
do it all the
I
time.
do know that I will have a live sale and I'll be like, I am so mad at myself. Like I did awfully. Like I was a loser. I wasn't like I didn't have enough energy. Like I
Mhm.
had a migraine. I shouldn't have done it. I should know better. I need to like whoa, you know,
It makes a difference.
I'll be annoyed by myself because I'll be like, why did I say something or why did I go down that rabbit hole whenever it was not productive at all? And
I know.
but yet people like to see that too sometimes. So it's
Well, I
okay.
always feel bad if like I am just so and Sam too. Oh my God. Just the
What you got
kitchen
going on
the
over there?
kitchen's falling apart.
Okay.
Like if we're just a sarcastic group.
Ooh.
We're a snarky, sarcastic group.
Yep.
And you know, there are people who just don't.
They don't hear that way.
They just don't necessarily. They just don't hear it. They hear it as mean and snarky, and it's not. It's just I'm being stupidly fun. I'm attempting to just
Hold
be
on. You just are speaking how you raised us to speak.
And I don't. But if there have been times when people's feelings have, you know, I have offended somebody or I have hurt somebody's feelings or
Yeah.
I am genuinely, does that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
hurts my heart. It truly, it's
Yeah.
never intended ever.
It's not an area that I focus on. So I solve a lot of my problems with humor. And so I tend to outwardly take most situations as humorous because that's the way I want to go with it rather than focus on the bad part about what's
Right.
what's happening. So I'll joke it off in a way that solves it in the moment. But I think a lot of people don't like it. Well, some people don't like that or they don't understand the nuance in it. And I've had see here I go again. I've had an issue where that has happened and I had an email and I was like, oh my gosh, like I felt very bad by it. I don't know if I told you about the specifics of that. You know who I'm talking about. Actually, there was two. I keep forgetting there was another one. And yes, that's the answer. Whatever the question.
I just don't. I mean, I understand that you cannot please everybody. I'm never going to make everybody happy ever. I mean, I would have to, you know, have about 50 different personalities to make everyone happy. But
oh, you won't want to do that either.
Oh man, does it hurt my heart when truly, honestly, it really. Okay, if I'm teasing you, please understand that I like you.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like the bully on the playground when that hits the other people. That's me. I like you if I tease you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When I feel comfortable with people, I will feel whenever, yeah. So if I think that we have a good cadence going on or a good relationship with people, and it's hard because I don't know these people specifically that are in the comments, but I feel like we kind of do, and I feel like they'll get what I'm saying. And if it doesn't read that way or they don't take it that way, well, that's a problem. And
yeah,
then it can turn into something. And but
yes, I think a lot of times things happen and you're like, whoa, 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 what just happened here?
Oh, no.
Hold on.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I think I'm naturally sarcastic in that way too, but I do rein it in more than you do. So I don't think on its face it's so self-evident whenever people are watching me that I have that in me, that's like a integral part of my personality. So they think that, oh, that little hint that they're seeing, that's just me being like, I don't know, what? Just an ass, basically. So I couldn't come up with another word. Like, so
I have something beautiful to show you before we end our conversation.
Okay.
And I picked it up today.
Okay.
And I pretty much wanted to show you, Jeffrey, to, just because I can.
I want to know if you know exactly where it is.
Yeah, I know exactly where it's at. It's right here.
Oh, okay. That could have gone different ways.
I need to go to storage and get it, and then I'll be back.
That's not impossible. People are asking me to explain the pyramid incident.
Oh,
so we had a situation where we were joking and we put people on the pyramid. Jeffrey, I believe you were on the pyramid. I believe you were on the bottom.
Jeffrey's always on the pyramid.
And
because he's a
I heard about this.
And someone was upset because there were only 6 positions on the pyramid.
By the way, I need to mention why I'm holding my head against because it hurts.
Okay.
I just want people to know why I'm holding my head.
His head hurts. So he's saying that. But basically we caused a very big situation.
Well,
someone was upset because they didn't understand.
Because all this is a popularity contest.
And we said, yes, that's exactly right.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, when you chat in the chat and we see you chat in the chat and we interact with you, then those are probably going to be the people we interact with, the people that actually type things in the chat.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense. Okay. That's logical.
Well, I mean, it was.
We just picked 6 random people.
And but we can't pick people that aren't chatting in the chat because we don't know that they're there.
It was just people that were like, okay, Bella, Carrie, Susan, Carrie, Southern Mermaid.
Right.
Like.
It isn't.
But it caused a big problem. So.
We're very vocal with everybody.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Now, if you are better friends with me than somebody else, it's simply because you have demanded my attention. Yeah. You are texting me or you are badgering me to the point of interacting with you. And that goes for my children.
Yeah.
So trust me, if I'm responding to anything you're sending me, consider that a good sign. Now, Jeffrey.
Okay, here's the last thing.
Look.
Oh my goodness.
That is an American bisque. I just picked it up.
Is that McCullough?
He said American.
Oh,
American bisque.
Goodness gracious, it looks like this McCullough piece I was looking at recently.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes. Why are you showing this to me?
To hurt you.
Because it's going to be in the sale.
Great.
Well, he can't watch because we don't watch his.
Well, I don't know. I didn't want to say, Jeffrey, you need to watch my haul video. I had to grab him while he was here because now he's going to say, well, screw you, Sarah. When's the last time you watched one of my haul videos or sales?
Listen, if you don't show up at his sale tomorrow night, you're toast.
Oh my God, I am so there. Jesus. I'm buying something. I mean it.
You better make sure your presence is known. You cannot sit down there and do an assemblage and just have it playing like you normally do.
Plaster myself all over your chat.
Okay.
All right, we got to go. Jeffrey's got a headache.
He's about ready to cut his head off. So.
Unless you guys want to sing like a round or something. Next time.
It looks like they're busy.
I just want to say that I hope you guys get to come this way or we get to meet up soon because I think that it would be really fun and interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I think it would be really fun too.
No, I'm dead serious this spring because
we'll be there.
I absolutely have to get down there to see my aunt. I have to.
Time's running out.
She's my godmother. TikTok. I have to. So pitter patter. Let's get at her.
That's right.
So yeah, we'll be down this. I mean, as long as I know the weather's going to be decent, we'll be there.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming.
So don't have plans.
Feel free to leave more questions in the comments. Respond to each other if you want to. We'll respond if we can. We also have another one of these coming up. So not next week, but the week after. It's not going to be a surprise. It's going to be Jocelyn, Crazy Land Lady. So she's settling a time with her
beloved, her betrothed Andrew.
her darling, and it will be in the evening.
Yeah.
But we have received lots of great information from Jeffrey and from Barb. So thank you so
from
much.
Alex and from Misty. Now we have to talk to Jocelyn to make sure to verify everything you three have said.
To make sure that she's cool with what you guys said. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
We love you. We'll see
Thanks
you
for
soon.
having
I like
us.
Scotcheroos.
Oh, and hey, Jeffrey and Barb are going to be live tomorrow at 6:30. Jeffrey?
Yep, that's the new time.
Oh, really?
Central time.
Yeah.
So, Real Nifty Vintage. She
Why?
wouldn't know. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
I
It's
need you a little bit later, like about 8.
Just say, shh.
Damn it, Jeffrey.
Anyway,
All right.
go to Jeffrey's sale tomorrow. Mom will be there for sure. I'll be
will
at
be there
soccer,
for
but
sure.
I'll also be there.
I will be participating and there.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Guys, we'll see you soon.
See you
Bye.
guys soon. Love you. Bye.